Hey, it's Melissa here, and I'm so excited to share with you about a workshop that is coming up here in May of 2025. We are experiencing uncertainty and real intense energies in the environment right now. The truth is, this is not the first time that intense energies have come up on planet Earth. You can probably think of times even during your own lifetime, even the last few years. But this one feels particularly intense. And if you are sensitive, which means that you're psychic, you're tuned into energy, you pick up other people's feelings, you sense what's going on in the environment, you may be having a lot of intense feelings and emotions at times. And recently, I was meditating with my angels and I picked up the really clear message from Spirit that right now in 2025, it is essential that we have a strong inner pivot point on a soul level within us. So, what do I mean by a strong inner pivot point? It's that place of knowing, okay, I'm in alignment. I'm in alignment with my true feelings. I'm in alignment with what I've come to do. I'm in alignment with my path. I'm experiencing my own feelings and not someone else's. And I'm clear about what I'm involved in. And that brings a feeling to me, right? It might be different for you, but to me, this brings a feeling of strength, secure, that inner security. In our society, we're taught to have outer security, right? We're taught to have the security through the job, through your bank account. But really, true security comes from within because the reality is the material world can change at any time, and some of it is out of our control. But what is within your control, always, no matter what life hits you with, whether this be the world at large or your own personal circumstances, what we can rely on is our inner security, right? And so that's why what I mean by that inner pivot point. So, why do I bring this up? Well, along with that message from Spirit that we really need to have that inner security, that strong inner pivot point, they gave me the inspiration to offer you a workshop. This is a workshop that I have taken a few times myself over the 20 years that I've been a student of the Way Showers College and teaching it myself. But it's material that I have not kind of touched upon in a few years. And I realized how relevant this class is to what we're experiencing right now. And I'm so excited that I can share these tools with you. So the workshop is called the Four Spiritual Alarms. This is your inner alarm system. So what you're going to learn in the workshop are what are these four spiritual alarms? If you get off your pivot point, if you're out of alignment, if something isn't right, something is getting off track, the first kind of spiritual alarm, quote unquote, will start getting your attention. It will start alerting you that you're out of alignment and you need to get back in the flow. If you don't acknowledge, if you ignore the first spiritual alarm, then you're going to kind of go to the second one, then the third, and then the fourth. And if you get to that fourth spiritual alarm, you're really feeling off kilter. You're feeling perhaps depressed, right? Perhaps unmotivated, perhaps a lot of anxiety and worry. And no judgment, right? Like I have been in those places in the last few years myself at times. Okay. But what we can do is we can learn to recognize these alarms. First of all, know what they are in the first place, and then recognize them so that when these alarms get your attention, you can recognize it more quickly and you can get yourself back on track. Because the more that you get off track, the more that confusion can attract confusion around you. You're feeling, your emotions are heightened. it's harder and becomes harder and harder to get yourself back to your inner pivot point, the further off track you go. It can still be done. It can still be done, but it takes more time and more effort and more patience. So what if you recognize the first, maybe the second, but hopefully the first alarm, and you saw it and you come back on track and you were able to get those practical, solutions of what's getting off balance and get yourself back to your pivot point. Okay. So I hope from that you can see the value in learning about these 4 spiritual alarms. So it's a 3-hour workshop. I'm keeping this really low cost because I want to have it accessible to everybody on my audience. Okay. I would love to see a really large group taking this. So the date is Saturday, May 31st, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern USA time. So in the link below, you'll see a link to convert that to your time zone if you're overseas. It should be a good time for most time zones. UK and Europe, it'll be evening. Australia, New Zealand, it'll be morning. Different time zones within the US. Let's get together, share with each other, and learn about these spiritual alarms. If you've never taken a workshop like this with me before, it is experiential. And you will have the opportunity to meet like-minded people, to share with them in the breakout room, to really share your experiences. If you're shy, which I can tend to be sometimes, you might find that intimidating, or you might think it's intimidating. But what you're going to realize is that as soon as you get into that flow of sharing with loving, supportive, kind people, it is really a healing in itself. So 3-hour workshop. It will be recorded if you can't make it live, but I highly, highly encourage you to be there live because you will get a better experience. It will filter through you on a feeling level if you're there live and you get to share with me and others, of course, which you don't have that opportunity recorded. The investment is $44 US. Okay. So go ahead and sign up, right? Don't miss out on this opportunity. It's Saturday, May 31st. I won't be offering this class again. So hop on now, make that investment in yourself, that small investment in your growth so that you can stay on your pivot point for the months and years to come. If you have any questions, email me at support@communicatewithangels.com. Otherwise, I can't wait to see you on our live Zoom class on May 31st.